I do not care if you agree with me. I don't care. It does not matter to me. My soul is set on this, and I'm going to explain why. Yes, you read the title correctly. Streaming is harder than a 9-to-5 job. Now, it's going to sound psychotic coming from someone like me because you don't know my accolades. I'm probably some random who you've never heard of. I'm going to put my accolades on screen right now. Yes, they're nothing. They're really not nothing. They're nothing. I'm not going to lie to you. I try streaming every day for about 4 hours before I go to work at my 60-hour-a-week job. Yes, work at Amazon, 60 hours a week. Tough. Mandatory overtime sometimes. It's horrifying. It's difficult. I work in stow, I work in pick, I work in pack. If you don't know what those are, that's okay. But that's a factory job. You guys are talking about 9 to 5, such as dealing with people and customers, right? I worked at Waffle House. And while I was working at Waffle House, I streamed every single day for 10 hours to 5 people. It was draining. It was disheartening. Somebody would come in, say a mean comment. Somebody would say something messy about me, something ugly and vitriolic, and then leave. I'd get messages personally. And you could say you could just turn off your phone and block them. But when you get to a certain plateau of fame, yes, you're getting sponsorship deals and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, that's fine. But there's a few things people don't talk about, the ugly side of fame. The millions of messages. I'm not even big. I'm not big at all. I'm at 20,000 subscribers on YouTube or something like that, and 5,000 on TikTok. That's 400,000. I have 400,000 on TikTok, and I just like saying that as a bit. But I have a huge following on a lot of platforms, and I get over 100 messages every day I wake up. As soon as I wake up, I get 100 messages immediately. I had to mute my notifications, so I can't really see messages from my mom or my dad because sometimes I'll get messages on those platforms because they don't have their phone on. So they message me on Messenger, and I have to either I manually go through and mute everybody, or I do something different, or I pay their phone bill. But I'm not paying my parents' phone bill to my parents. I'm not doing that. There's so much different minutia. Even at my level of success, I will go outside, and people will say, wait a second, can I get a picture? When I'm trying to have a nice, constructive, fun day with my wife. That's all I'm trying to do. That's it. That's the aspect of fame. But streaming, oh, you're just reacting to videos. You're also reading chat. But you get like a sponsorship deal with hundreds of dollars. You also have to make your own schedule. You have to decide if it's mentally worth it to accept all the vitriolic hate. You don't got to focus on the negative, just focus on the positive. Do you in your life really only focus on the positive? Is that how you function as a human being? I get a negative comment and it agitates me. I read it and I see the positive. I see it. I really do. All the kind messages you guys send me, I've responded to most of you. I love you all. I really do. But I also see the negative, and the negative is deeply, deeply, deeply specific. And it's agitating. That's streaming. Sometimes you'll stream and somebody will come in, don't know the context of what you're talking about, and say, and then they'll just say something disrespectful, racist, messed up. And you read that because you're reading chat. After a positive comment, it's a negative, negative, positive, 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 negative. And that's mental health. But sure, it isn't difficult to sit down all day and do nothing. Obviously, it wasn't difficult during COVID for everybody, right? It wasn't difficult doing that during COVID, right? That was super easy for everybody. Everybody was basically a streamer. They were getting paid by the government to not work, and they sat around all day. And you guys found that so easy. No, and you didn't. It was difficult. You guys got paid boinko bucks every week, because I did too. I got that check from the government. I got a stimulus plus extra money every week because I had a non-mandatory job. That's what I had. It's so weird to compare better or worse, right? It's strange to do that because it's different for everybody. You wouldn't last a day in fast food. I've worked at McDonald's. I worked at Waffle House. I worked at Wendy's. I worked at Burger King. I've had a lot of jobs. I've tried every job. I've worked at Dollar Tree. I worked at Walmart. I've worked at Amazon. Currently, I've done a lot of stuff. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that streaming is the most agitating, irritating, mind-numbing gobbledygook I've ever had to experience. You have to make your own schedule. You have to set your own plans. But you have free control to do whatever you want to. Yeah, that's the hard part. Have you ever tried making a schedule for yourself? Have you ever tried meal prep? I know it sounds stupid and such a privileged thing to talk about. It's so privileged to speak about these things. There are other people struggling every day in different countries. Are you struggling? Can you not find a toilet right now? Can you not find a toilet right now? Is that you? You're grandstanding for something you're not experiencing. That's what you're doing. I've done both. I've done all three. I grew up in poverty, not like regular American poverty. I grew up in Egypt, that kind of poverty. Garbage, nonsense, eating actual filth and dirt off the ground and dirt pies. That's what I was eating. And after eating the dirt pies, I came to New Orleans. And I was homeless in New Orleans at 8 years old. And I was homeless in Detroit at 8 years old until I found a place to live. And even then, I was still lower class. I wasn't lower middle class. I was poverty. I was in poverty. And during that, I had to get a job at 13 at a barbershop sweeping up hair where they pay me $50 a week. And then I joined a gang. Boom! And I started making money. Oh, it was great. It was great. Oh, it was fun. I made a bunch of money. And after that, I tried working regular jobs. I worked so many regular jobs. I worked at a pizza place, learned how to make pizza. I worked blacksmithing with Amish people. I've done so many different odd jobs and so many different little minutia things. I've done a lot of stupid stuff. And I tell you this, dealing with people face to face is horrifying, but it's face to face. There are those few one-off rude customers, but most people want to be polite. They see that tip screen, they reluctantly type 15%. That's what they'll do. That's what happens because they don't want to seem rude. It's that social contract of being face to face, but online is infinite. And also, there's no guarantee you're going to be successful. For smaller streamers, it's difficult because you stream with like 7 people and some of them are mean and they're making jokes to you and you get nothing for it. And when you're bigger, you're getting hundreds of thousands of people that hate you just for existing. I don't like Ludwig because he did. I don't like Kai Cenat because it is. I don't like this person. I don't like this person. And it's nonstop. You got to have a really calloused mind to deal with that. A really calloused mind. Streaming is insanely difficult. Keeping it entertaining, seeing that number dip when you're not entertaining, seeing people leave, seeing people say mean comments, seeing people personally try to dox you, swat you consistently, people coming at you in public, approaching you, trying to smack your phone out the hand. It's insane. It's psychotic to have that happen to you. Some people have to change their entire identities in person, wear masks and stuff like that because they can't have a regular life ever again because of the fame. That is what streaming does. You gain this parasocial relationship and people get insane. I used to message men for OF content creators. It was one of my side jobs. And when I was messaging men, they would always want to meet up or say hello to me or say hi and do that. They didn't know it was me. They just knew they thought it was the girl. So I would message the men. And they would send me crazy things. A guy sent me a clump of his hair, just a bag, Ziploc baggie of his hair, right? And you guys probably don't believe me, but give me 1 second. This is a Ziploc bag of hair a guy had sent me because my P.O. box was tied to this girl's account. This is the clump of hair he sent me. He said, use this for a spell or a ritual so we'll fall in love deeply. I love you. A guy also sent me his literal ear, like just his ear, in an ice box. He sent it over international borders. Nobody checked what it was. They thought it was just ice. But if you dug through the ice, you'd see that a vat of red ooze and liquid was fumigating beneath it, and it was an ear. He sent it, then sent a photo and said, I love you. In the same way that I believe he said Van Gogh loved his partner. I want to be yours. This is a symbol of my love. I was horrified. That is what it means to be a streamer. People having that level of parasocial relationship with you. And sure, you may get stalkers regularly. If you're a woman, you might get a regular stalker. Guys may not be able to experience that on a regular basis. They may not get that stalker. And those guys that do have a stalker, that's insane too. I'm sorry that that's happened to you. I apologize. Your personal safety is at danger. Also, good job, brother. But at the same time, it is an insane thing to have happen. And that is streaming. So to see people say, that streaming is easy, bro. I could do this in my sleep. Then do it. Become famous. Become the next Kai Cenat. Do it if it's so easy. Well, I mean, like at their level, it's easy because they get all these sponsors and brand deals. They millionaires. They rich. Just because you're rich doesn't excuse you from personal issues. People aren't immune to issues because they're rich. It definitely mitigates a lot of the financial stress without a doubt. Not worrying about rent is probably amazing for them. Being able to move and pack up anytime you want to, godlike. That's lovely. Oh, I wish I had that ability. That's amazing. Oh, that's great. And it is true. They do have an insane amount of benefits. It is an insane amount of benefits. But just because you have benefits, it doesn't mean you don't have disadvantages. No personal privacy. Every single thing you do is picked apart and scrutinized. You don't even know who your true friends are because you don't know if they're trying to pick apart and get each piece of you. You don't know who you can really rely on because you don't know if they're trying to use you as a plateau. Oh, bro, we should collab. We should do it. I used to know you in high school. We should collab, bro. We should. You have no idea. And yes, you get sponsors and brand deals, but you got to restrict yourself so deeply. Is it truly living and existing when you have to restrict yourself at every moment because you got sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends? That's right. This is a transition into an ad. Use my code SerosTV at /Raid Shadow Legends to get the champion Sun Wukong and 5,000 coins. See? Look at that. That wasn't even a real ad read. I just said that. And that's what they have to do in the midst of their passion. In the midst of the thing that's supposed to bring them joy, they have to stop in a second and say some ad read from a soulless company because they have to live. They gotta eat. They have to become the corporate shill that they so probably despise. They're talking to the common man while not being a common man. It is such a level of deep disconnect. And these people have had regular jobs more than likely. Aiden Ross, probably not. Probably not has had a regular job. Logan Paul actually did have a regular job, and Jake Paul did have regular jobs before the streaming stuff. They did indeed have regular jobs. These people have tried everything. They've been tossing garbage at the wall, all the hardship. You don't see the editing. You don't see the planning behind it. You don't see the setup behind it. You don't see the no's they get rejected. You don't see that. You don't see the brand deals they lose. You don't see any of this. Streaming, to pick a side, is harder than a 9-to-5. Because I work a 9-to-5 and stream. And I'd much rather work that 9-to-5 and stop all this right now, but I can't shut up. That's my issue. I just like talking so much, and people like to sit around and listen to me talk. And that's my issue. I would love so deeply to go to Amazon every day and just be in Stowe, put my headphones in, which I'm not supposed to do, by the way. That's against Amazon policy. And just go in and work and make my $900 a week and then come home and sleep next to my wife and have a general, sad, sophisticated day. That's what I want. But I want to talk about things. I want to speak. Because without this creative endeavor, I have nothing. I don't have anything without the passion that I put into these videos. I don't have anything without the passion I give out to you guys. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. So please understand from the other side. I know you see them making all this money. You think it's easy because you're seeing what they put out. You're just seeing a small snippet into the grand minutia of what their life is. You're seeing a small piece of the bigger picture, and you're thinking you understand the whole thing when you've barely been given the appetizer, when they're experiencing the full course meal. You don't see the 10 hours of editing. You don't see the captioning that certain people have to do. You don't see the nonsense and minutia. You don't see the hate comments. You don't see the thousands of messages. Behind me right now, and popping up on screen, are my message requests from Instagram and TikTok. These are the ones I haven't replied to because I haven't had the time currently. I responded to over 7,000 messages in just October. In November, because I went to an anime convention, that influx was crazy, and I had 2,000 messages that I replied to while laying in my bed sideways and trying to just speak to people because I really want to talk to people. I really want to have genuine connections and friendships, but these people, all of you that message me, you don't view me as a person sometimes. And it's not every one of you. I believe it may be a vocal minority, or maybe it is the majority. I can't really tell anymore. You guys view me as a product. To be stripped away of my humanity, beyond these messages that are popping up on screen right now, to be stripped away to just the content, to just a caricature of what I am, is draining. And that's difficult because when you stream, that's what happens. Oh, you're not doing E-dates today. Oh, you're not playing Sparking Zero today. Oh, you're not doing this today. Oh, you're just talking to us today. That's boring. And that is a dip on their income because their job is to entertain. They are a monkey in a cage and they get paid for it. Boingo bucks, obviously, yes. but they are still a monkey in the cage. And when they're a smaller streamer, they have to build up to that, and all the hard work, all the things they had to reject, the friendships they had to give up just to stream, the people they had to reject, the other famous people they had to become friends with because their regular friends probably can't understand because they're working a regular job. There's so much to streaming. There's so much that people just don't see. And to a lot of people, that's easy. 9-to-5s are difficult. I hate working the 9-to-5 when I was younger. I hated it deeply. I hated not getting paid enough. I hated wondering where my next check was. I hated that, but I had structure and routine. I made my bed every day. I made sure I ate because if I didn't eat, I wouldn't have enough energy. I made sure to work out because my job was very labor intensive. I made sure everything was good in my life. I made sure to at least have a partner because the only way I could get through this was having a partner. And my partner worked a job. We both go. We worked the same hours. We'd come home and we watched a movie together, and it was civil and it was nice and it was lovely and I loved it. And we had a cat and we poured our money together and we went on trips about twice a year, and it was lovely and I loved every minute of it. Now that I'm a streamer and becoming a full-time content creator, I have to make all this myself. I have to figure this out. And there's no syllabus, there's no strategy, there's no get help guide for streamers. There's a lot of people saying they know the method and the strategy, but nobody really knows how it works. Nobody really knows the big gotcha moment because it doesn't exist. It's different for everybody. Find your niche. Don't find your niche. Stick to a niche. Don't stick to a niche. Do this. Do that. Do something different. Do a flip. Wait a second. You got to do e-dates. Oh my goodness. You got to do a guide. Tips and tricks. You got to do this. Do a top 10 guide. Bro, we should collab. Do a skit. It's different for everybody. There's no one set method for this nonsense. And I'm trying. And that's all I can say is that I'm trying because I don't know. With a 9-to-5, you know your schedule. You get a schedule from your boss. You have somebody to report to. HR. You have an HR facility. There's no HR facility for streamers. There is no mental health for streamers. There's no health insurance for streamers. There really isn't. There's nothing like that. We all have to find this on our own. I had to schedule my own doctor's appointments when at Amazon. Guess what? They kind of just figured things out for me. I'm thinking about getting reduced hours at the current moment, and I think I might lose my health benefits. So there's that. I'm not making enough money to actually pay for insurance currently. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not. So no checkups for me anymore. Get your blood, hair, and skin tested, by the way. That's very important. 9-to-5s are hard. Streaming is hard. To compare about which is harder is goofy. That's like saying, which is better? Vegetables or fruits? Both have their benefits, but which is better? Most people would say fruits are better, and that's streaming. Because fruits taste better, and they're sweeter, and they're nicer. But I would argue that vegetables are better. Because vegetables to me are 9-to-5s. Vegetables are, while not as tasty at all, in any capay, vegetables do have longer term health benefits for you as a human being. Vegetables make things better. Vegetables are what you should be eating. Not everybody wants to eat vegetables. They'd much rather eat a fruit over a vegetable because a fruit is technically healthy. But you should start eating vegetables more. I recommend streamers don't knock the benefit they have of the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I know they don't. But they also know that it is such a drain on them. That's why you see so many streamers out there with glasses and masks and they don't want to be crowded in public when they're just trying to go to a park. It is difficult. It's the same reason why Corey Kenshin stopped making content. I have no idea behind why he stopped doing it, but I imagine he made enough money to not have to worry about anything anymore, so he doesn't want to be in the public zeitgeist anymore. Hopefully he will fade into obscurity and he'll just make enough money residually through his old videos. That is the dream, I guess. Streaming is difficult, and I think it's harder than a 9-to-5 because I work a 9-to-5, so I have both perspectives. But I'm just one guy in a sea of thousands, and I know you probably won't agree with this opinion, and that's okay. I love you regardless, and I hope you will stick around to have discourse and tell me that I'm wrong in the comments. I have a Patreon, by the way. If anybody wants to help, I'd appreciate it. I gotta start plugging my Patreon. I never do that. Thought I'd do it at the end of the video because you stuck around this long. You might actually enjoy me as a human being. It's $1 a month if you want to help me out. The link is in the description below and it's in the comment at the top. I'd appreciate that deeply, mostly because, you know, I would love to do this as a full-time job because, you know, I want life to be difficult for me. And I know you may not agree with me and think I'm entitled at some points, but man, I still gotta go to work after this and it's really difficult and I hate every minute of it. So yeah. Bye. Complete 180. You see that? That's crazy. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that psychotic? Isn't that crazy?